as of right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are ranked number one on the most important power ranking of all, the NFL's official power rankings. And for one, I said it before during the offseason that the Eagles can definitely win a majority of their games on the schedule. Because with the way their roster is and the, in our case, fortunate state of, who we're playing, it lined up in such a way that here we are, right? I mean, it's no one's fault. Like, the NFL made the schedule. This was going to happen regardless of if last year we were like 11-6 or not. This is just how it ended up. And the Eagles right now are, despite the second half conservative, laid back play calling that hasn't gotten them many points outside of the Lions game, where we scored like 2 touchdowns in the second half. They've been near perfect as a full round team goes. The Dolphins have shown some inconsistencies, but they do have the potential. We saw that in Baltimore in week 2, that they have the potential to put up a lot of points. The Bills, we know what they can do, but we've seen them struggle in the red zone against the Miami Dolphins just a couple of days ago. Same with the Buccaneers. Injury riddled. Wide receivers aren't there. The guys that are there can't make the plays necessary, can't work with Brady. Same thing with Rodgers, except Rodgers has a run game and a good defense. The Buccaneers do have both of those things, but in the matchup between the two, the Packers got the edge. Little things like that, it's not just about who you're playing, it's about the matchups within that game, it's about the certain little details. There's so much that goes into it outside of, Jalen Hurts versus Tom Brady, or Jalen Hurts versus this guy, or whatever. That's why I hate the talk of the Eagles are 3-0, yes, but do they deserve to be number one? Because look at who they've played compared to the Dolphins, and it's like, for one, that's out of their control, and two, how about not just who we play, but how we beat those teams? The Eagles have controlled each and every single game down to the very last minute of said game. They were behind in the first quarter against the Lions, but from the second quarter on, controlled the game. They were behind early, not even behind early. We were ahead against the Vikings, tied with them. Were we even tied? No, we weren't even tied with them. We were ahead of them the entire game on Monday Night Football last week and controlled the entire game. We were never behind against the Commanders in a 24-8 win, in command of the entire game. The Dolphins had to make a miraculous comeback against the Baltimore Ravens. The Dolphins had to hold on to the edge of their seats because of the Bills and their explosive offense. All they needed was a field goal, and they almost got it. If they had 2 or 3 extra more seconds, they could have attempted a field goal to most likely win that game on Sunday, 22-21. I'm just saying. Not to mention the Dolphins had a pretty lackluster performance offensively against the New England Patriots right now, who are not anything special. So I don't want to hear us comparing who we are playing to other teams and who they're playing, because it's not fair to compare that. It's about how they're winning against the teams they're playing against. The Eagles have controlled each and every single game that they've played in. The Dolphins had to play catch up in 2 of those games. The Buccaneers struggled against the Packers. The Packers struggled against the Vikings. The Chiefs blew a game against the Colts. I look at the Eagles right now, through 3 games, through who they've played and how they've looked while playing in those games, as the most complete team in the NFL. I agree with the rankings. I can't speak. I agree with the power rankings for the NFL. Other people that have the Dolphins and the Bills still ahead of us. Bills I can get. Dolphins, okay, maybe. But in reality, the Eagles have been the most complete team. Second in the league in sacks. Only 1 turnover, which was a Hurts interception that if Kenneth Gainwell doesn't tip it into the air, it's not an interception. The Eagles have been one of the cleanest teams in the league outside of penalties. They struggled with penalties in the first 2 weeks and in the final quarter against the Commanders. Outside of that, this team has been near perfect in my book on how they've looked in each and every single game. Each game outside of the Lions has been a smooth ride that I haven't had to worry about whatsoever. Defense has been great. Offense has popped off in the first half. We need to see more in the second half. Obviously, that's the only critique we have. But outside of that, Jalen Hurts has made his stride and made himself known as a passer, which I'm so happy about. He's been looking great. Devontae Smith is looking phenomenal. A.J. Brown has been worth every single penny. Dallas Goedert is still doing what Dallas Goedert does. Miles Sanders is still doing what Miles Sanders is going to do. Everything is clicking. And we're playing Jacksonville. I'm going to be there, and we're going to win, and I can't wait. And I'll talk about it more as the week progresses on. Let me know how you feel after Victory Monday, after Sunday. How do you feel about everything that's going on right now? Knowing where we're at in the division after the Cowboys-Giants game, how do you guys feel moving into Week 4? Let me know, and I'll see you all in the next one.